I'm going to answer this question here, but first it might be helpful to know my background. Now, I was raised in church and for many years lived and breathed church and church ministry. I have a lot of conditioned, I believe, much more incorrect thinking from church culture. Now, I'm not trying to offend anyone, this is just my experience and take. I'd say church culture created a belief in me that being constantly available, serving everyone, and never slowing down is what makes you good. Over time, productivity became intertwined with my identity, making rest feel like failure and worth felt earned instead of inherent. So let's get to the question here. First, let's take a look at 2 Corinthians 12:9. It says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." So when we recognize our limitations, we're more likely to depend on God and His strength rather than our own abilities, right? But how the heck can we do that if we're always doing everything humanly possible that we can do? And I believe that's what this person is asking here. Yesterday, remember, I shared how I came to a point where I had to finally admit to myself and my husband that I couldn't keep up the way that I was. Acknowledging my limits was the first step toward surrender. Then, when I truly say to God, I'm weak, I can't continue like this in my own strength. Well, now I can have access to that power in 2 Corinthians 12. But I might step on some toes here. You see, if you don't admit your weakness, there's no surrender and ability to let God come in. The outcome when you admit weakness is not then going to magically make you look like Superwoman. This is the humbling part. It's actually going to be you now being more connected and in tune with His powers, and He will begin to show you shifts that need to happen. Okay, so practically speaking, He's going to shift your human mind to think more like Him, allowing for His power to flow. So I'm going to give some examples of what might happen. You might find God saying this to you. Bethany, you don't need to be a part of that thing. You've been too proud to walk away because you're afraid of what other people will think, but I actually have something else I need you to be doing for me that will have a much more effective impact on others. Okay, here's something else you might say. Sue, that fancy club you're running, it's just to make you look good. You try hard to maintain it for your vanity, but it doesn't serve my purpose. And it's running you ragged, so. Okay, something else. Yo, Tina, you don't need all that stuff. It's weighing you down. Maybe you're too embarrassed that people will think less of you if you give up some of these belongings, causing you financial trouble. You're bringing that on yourself. How much more I could use you, Tina, if you would be willing to let go of your things. God might speak to us moms like this. Mom, you're so overwhelmed as a mom because your child isn't performing well in school or academically, but rather than looking to me for advice and tuning out this world, you continually conform to it. You made your child fearfully and wonderfully. You believe the world knows best, but I do. Let go and let me show you your child's amazing identity so he or she can truly walk in their identity. Next one we can all relate because we're women. I design women to live cyclically. This was intentional. So you'd be reminded each month to invite me in and stop constantly striving in productive output. Rather, I want you to listen and be in tune with your rhythms of your body to understand human limitations more. I'm there, ready to reveal myself to you each month, but you're too busy maintaining unnaturally. This is how it looks practically. You're most likely going to need to make changes that are necessary so God can show His strength. It's going to be uncomfortable at first, but imagine how much can happen through you if you are okay to be weak. Now stop thinking you're going to turn into some superwoman after reading and admitting to 2 Corinthians 12. But how much more powerful will you be used when you stay tapped in to that source of the highest power?